Hello, Ransom Matt Attorneys fan. This is Attorney Thom bringing you another episode today to enlighten you as to legal issues in your life. You know, we deal with corporations every day in, day out. You know, if they're buying or they're selling, or we may even have our own business or corporation. So I'm going to walk you through some of the resources available to you that you can research who you're doing business with, whether they're active, whether they're operational, so you know exactly who you're potentially getting into a financial situation with. So let's take a look at it. Now, I'm going to use a platform that we utilize in our Video Lawyer on Demand online platform where we share legal information and knowledge with you. And you can certainly schedule an appointment to ask any questions or address any issues through that platform. So I'm going to merge and join the application here, and I'm going to screen share. So now you're looking at my local desktop. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up Google and do a search. Each state has their own separate corporate website because it's all state controlled. In Florida, the Florida Department of Corporation has a website that they utilize called Sunbiz. Pretty tricky. Sunbiz.org. Now this is the Florida Department of State Division of Corporations. Pretty easy to navigate website. What you'll see on this is you can do searches as to existing businesses or entities, and not only businesses. You'll see some other searches here that I'll walk you through also. How to start a business, how to manage an existing business, cost, fees, and forms, and then other notarial things that we utilize in closings and business transactions to provide verification for title or underwriting purposes. So let's jump into this website a little bit, and let me show you first searches. So if you want to search their records, you can see it has drop-down screens and very user-friendly layouts where, for instance, if you want to search records for any corporation or limited liability corporation or limited partnerships, you can search it by name, registered agent, their tax identification number, zip code, address. It's all available here. So let's do a search. We're going to search by a name. And again, I'm just pulling something up random, so I don't know who this belongs to. How about Ocean View? Sounds like a pretty standard name here in Florida. So here are entities with the name of Ocean View. This gives you the corporate name. Document number would be the date of incorporation where their articles were filed. And then this tells you the status. A lot of these entities are inactive. Here is an active one, Ocean View LLC. So if you click on that, you'll get a link to the actual detail of that entity. It tells you the corporate name, the document number. This was the article's number that created the corporation. Tells you the date that it was filed or when it was incorporated. It's active. This is their principal address over on the East Coast there in Weston, which is beautiful. I love Weston. It gives you the mailing address, who the registered agent is, and their address. Now, if you're serving someone with a lawsuit or you're directing something to the corporation, it goes to the registered agent. And this is the manager's information. And this shows he's been in business for many years, and this gives you a PDF view of their annual report that's been filed. So that would essentially give you the majority of information that you need to really research various corporations. So let's do another search. Let's say you want a fictitious name. Let's say you want to create a fictitious name. Let's see, coffee shops are big these days. How about Crazy Coffee Shop? Crazy Coffee shop or crazy little coffee shop. How about that? So you want to start a business called the Crazy Little Coffee Shop. Well, let's see what we have here. Crazy Little Store. It looks like if you want to open up the Crazy Little Coffee Shop, it's available. Now, a fictitious name registration, and the purpose of a fictitious name is that someone is not utilizing their individual name or their corporate name. For instance, if it was Thom Jones and you're doing Thom Jones Plumbing, that's one thing. But if you're doing Jones's Plumbing, that's not using your full name, so you need to place consumers on notice of who they're doing business with. These may or may not be corporations. It may just be a sole proprietorship, which is John Jones doing business as, Crazy Little Store. Or it could be, LLC 47 Incorporated doing business as Crazy Little Store. So let's take a look at this. This is the Crazy Little Store. It looks like they had a location on Front Street in Key West, but it looks like their fictitious name registration, which is good for 5 or 7 years, I guess, has in fact expired. Looks like it's good for 5 years. It has expired, so they're probably no longer in business. They will need to renew their fictitious name. So you certainly want something that's not deceptively similar to someone else's name, and that's one way you also check name availability. If you want to check out limited liabilities, again, you can search by partnership name, agent's name. If you want to check judgment liens. So let's check judgment liens. Okay, looks like I did a search for Thomas Jones already. So looks like Thomas Jones, which is a very common name, has a lot of judgments here. But judgments are only good statutorily through Florida Statute 95 for 20 years, but you have to renew them and file them periodically. So it looks like a judgment in Hillsborough County back in 2005, it expired in 2010. Tells you the amount of the judgment, the interest rate, and the judgment creditor was Household Bank. The judgment debtor was Thomas Jones. But it looks like that judgment may not be collectible, or in this case, it may not be a lien, because the judgment was in 2005. It's still good till 2025, but it may not be a lien on certain assets. But that is sunbiz.org, and those are the various searches and information you can gather through this website. So if you've taken a look at our small claims video, you would have seen that as a plaintiff or defendant, if you're suing the other party and they're operating under a corporate or fictitious name capacity, you have to look them up. So if you're joining a defendant who's a corporation, this is how you would look them up. Let's say the company is ABC Towing. Well, if you're looking for ABC Towing, it looks like the ABC Towing and Junk Cars. You can look them up. You can see that they're an active corporation, about a year old. Their principal address, their mailing address, and their registered agent. Remember, the registered agent is the individual which gets served with the lawsuit. That's who you would serve. But in any event, that is how you utilize SunBiz. Now, you can also initiate or start a business. You can manage your existing. You can file an annual report. Takes a credit card. You can pay directly online. You're required to do that annually with a corporation, of course. Gives you your filing fees. Shows you where you can obtain other information regarding anyone that is doing business utilizing a fictitious name, a corporate name, or otherwise. Great website, easy to navigate. Now, in creating a company, This gives you a little information about researching it, the type of company, the forms. You can certainly do this on your own, but I would recommend getting some legal advice as to how to set up the entity, what entity would be best for you, whether it's a sole proprietorship, whether it is an LLC, a series LLC, a regular C Corp, a partnership. All those structures have certain uses and purpose depending upon the type of business that you're looking to operate. So always give us a call. We're available through Video Lawyer on Demand. We can walk you through this process. And in fact, you and I together can open up this format that you see, and we can create and set up the business together at the same time on our various monitors here. So that is everything that I wanted to show you today. So thanks for joining us. And remember, keep giving us information and feedback as to any additional topics you would like to hear. Look us up on Facebook. Give us a like on our Rants of a Mad Attorney website or our Video Lawyer on Demand. So this is Attorney Thom signing off. Thanks for your time. Bye.